like all this stuff. Alright, so we have a new train now. It looks like an old steampunk train or something. Like a mining train. Oh. Train. No. No. I want to stop because I'm in a new chapter, but I can't. Oh, what the f... Hello and welcome back to my 25th anniversary playthrough of Half-Life. I have a few things to say, but I'm going to say them as I go through rather than in an intro section in this one, so let's just go. Nice. I suppose I can shoot him before I get into the water, can I? I'm sure Harry thought of that already. This was Harry Teasley's level, the first guy I really talked to at Valve. In fact, the flooded silo was the first concept, the first game design concept I'd ever been introduced to when I first came to talk to Valve about what Half-Life, or what kind of game they were planning. Harry told me about this flooded silo and how you had to swim around and run out of oxygen and encounter air pockets and stuff like that. Yeah, but how do I get the fuck out of here? Maybe I've got to go down that little... Oh, the momentary switch, of course. The favorite tool of every Valve level designer. The rotating button. Okay, come on. Missed it. Missed it! Son of a... Holy f... Wow, I suck at this. Let's just get the fuck out of here. Hopefully he leaves me alone. Nope. Leave me alone. Wow! Oh, you know what? I think there's a trigger there. I think there's a trigger right at that momentary switch that says, if the player is here... Fingaya! 007. Oh, no, no, not again. Oh, you... I don't have nearly enough. Oh... I don't have anything like it. Oh, nice! Sorry, mate, I'm fucking using this. Oh my fuck.
Holy catastrophe!
Sit there, mate. We have... What the f... What does that mean? There we go, look at this. This has got to be one of the first Mario platform timing jumping puzzles we've seen so far. I know what this is for. I think I know what this is for. This is so I don't have to do this puzzle, right? I can just bring this to here and do that. Much better than doing this.
Graeme, right? I've got a message for you. Make sure you don't...
That was amazing. Okay, now I'm ready for these photos.
Graeme, right? I've got a message for you. Make sure you don't...
20%.
That's always funny. Alright, how many of them are there? Ah, gotcha. I mean, they move so fast. Another momentary wheel. Level designer favorite. Alright, now let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, those guys are brutal. Those assassins. This is where I lose my weapons, that's right. Ugh, just when I was all nicely equipped.
Taking this Freeman guy. Upside for questioning. What the hell for? We got him. Let's kill him now. And if they find the body? Body? What body?
Nice. Alright, now trash compactor time, I think. There we go. Nothing in my hands. Just a little monkeying around. Forget which side I need to jump on this one. Probably not this side, because I can get out of it. Ouch! Ooh, do I get my crowbar? Yes, there it is. Come on. That's very Star Wars-y. This whole section was heavily influenced, or pretty much not moment-to-moment design, but conceptually, or like the gameplay mechanics were conceived of by Mike and Gabe, who were really big fans of Mario and really wanted Half-Life to have jump mechanics that were skills the player could master and use in the game. They were also big fans of Goldeneye, the game, and wanted this section to use both movement mechanics and dynamic environmental obstacles. That's why we have a big section where there are lots of conveyor belts down here. This was also a section of the game where we weren't going to put any combat or NPC interaction at all, so coming from Doom and Quake and working on this section pretty soon was a bit of a challenge for me. This section reminds me of a kind of a stressful time in my Valve career. Was very early days, and there was open criticism of work over email to the entire company. We were just figuring out what we wanted the game to be, no real roadmap for it. We didn't know each other very well. We were all young and not overly experienced in finishing games. And back then, yeah, it was kind of like the Wild West of communication. In fact, this map here, when a nameless CEO played through it to give his opinion, he pretty much sent an email to the company calling these rat levels, as the corridors aren't wide enough to accommodate Panther Eyes, which was a quadruped creature eventually cut from the game with a pretty large collision hull. And of course these corridors weren't designed to accommodate those creatures because there was supposed to be really an NPC-less area. But Gabe didn't know that at the time, so he just looked at these and went, oh my god, the level designers are designing levels that can't accommodate our creatures, and of course he said that to the whole company. I had a shitty response, and then he had an even shittier response. So pretty difficult times back then, and that definitely was a learning point for me, where I went and chatted to another guy, Harry at the company, and he said, look, he gave me advice that I remember to this day, and is excellent advice. He said, always wait 24 hours before sending a grievance email, or even sending an email at all when you're not feeling great. So basically the advice was write it at the time, write whatever it is you want to say, but don't send it. Hold it for 24 hours, reread it the next day, Any emotions you're feeling at the time will have subsided by then, and you'll be thinking far more clearly. Really, the only thing that I really care about when sending emails is what it's going to accomplish and what it might cost. And I'm in a far better place to answer that when I'm not upset at something. So I learned that lesson back then in 1997. Stuck with me to this day. And here we go. This is... Whoa, hello. This is the second area that I ever designed in Half-Life. Went from power-up straight onto this guy. This design, the way I went about building these walls were just... all these rock walls were just building a flat surface and then subdividing it and then pushing and pulling the vertices individually. One by hand. Anyway, so this part... this sequence up ahead, residue processing, was always designed to not have any combat. Yeah, this whole residue processing section was designed to not have combat, since we knew Gordon was going to be stripped of his weapons, and we wanted the player to feel like they'd been spat out of the bowels of the facility. We wanted you to feel vulnerable, but also insignificant. Basically floundering around like a piece of waste residue. Yeah, it looks like some textures got a bit messed up with time. Don't quite line up too well. Not sure what's going on with that. This area started out with far more odd-looking walls. They were de-quakified piece by piece, because again, this was super early in my building Half-Life levels. It was still very Quake influenced. Also, this entire... Oh, no! I think you're going to get killed by a... Yeah, there you go. Observation area. This tells you what you're going to have to do in a second. Yeah, here we go. So this is gameplay I was absolutely not used to building at this point in time in my career. And I'll readily admit this is not in my wheelhouse, design of jumping puzzles. I always found that over the years I was so much better working on stuff that I would consume and I'd be really excited about actually playing. It's always a challenge for me to design stuff that I was kind of apathetic about actually consuming, and this is definitely one of those areas, like timing jumping puzzles and stuff. I just never liked it. Oops. Oh, 007. No! Oh, shh. Jib Shooter's level designer favorite. More Mario stuff. God, I remember hearing so much shit about having to design this, and we have to kick the crap out of Goldeneye's conveyor belt area. So make it good, Kasali. Alright, I think soon enough I'm gonna have to shoot out some trip mines. Haha, that was the round the corner one. Sneaky, sneaky. What? You're joking. I don't have that anymore? Oh, I used my last satchel charge. I don't believe it. Oh well. Okay, I think that's residue processing over. This will be Chapter 11, Questionable Ethics. These levels were originally referred to by the team as the Alien Research Labs and went through a few iterations before we arrived at what we shipped in the final game. So a little backstory on this. It was early November 97, and we all knew we were going to miss our original target ship date of the 26th. So the mood was fairly tense and uncertain about, what the next 6 months were going to be like. Gabe and Mike called a company-wide meeting on November 6th, and it had a really dark tone to it. The game wasn't in a cohesive state at all, and missing the date was obviously a big deal. My diary entry of the day was pretty shaken up. The words I remember most from that meeting were when Gabe said, I quote, but I don't know if this is exactly what he said, but this is what I wrote in my diary, "I don't like the team at all at the moment, and there are going to be cuts." I had just started working on surface tension at the time, and you can imagine that instead of just worrying about how to finish the game, we were then wondering if we'd even have a job in the coming months. So that meeting was pretty hard-hitting. Anyway, at the time, the Alien Research Labs had already gone through a couple of iterations, because this was the area of the game that I worked on after Power Up, which was only a couple of maps. So I had finished up with those a little sooner in the year. Anyway, here's what this section of the game looked like originally. As you can see, very different from what we shipped, but this look was well received internally. It just was very expensive to render because the walls and architecture had a lot of detailed geometry for that time. Remember, we only had about 400 faces that we could use for world rendering, which was basically nothing. And so when you started putting a lot of detail on the walls and stuff, which weren't really environmental storytelling, it was kind of low priority detailing, and there was just too much of it in these spaces. It was ultimately abandoned in favor of a cleaner, more realistic, less sci-fi look. A couple more pictures I want to show you are these two here. One of them is with the incredibly multicolor lighting shot, which I think I went a little bit crazy because Quake 2 was out and it was using all this very colorful lighting, and I just thought, you know what, let's just put all the primary colors in here. It looks pretty awful. But in the second shot, you can see this is an area we were testing the chain gunner in. A fun fact about this guy is that early on in his development, we played a sound clip of Mr. T when his gun was revving up to warn you to get out of the way, because this guy was pretty dangerous when he started shooting. So we needed to telegraph to the player, hey, he's winding up his gun. So this is what he would say when he revved up his gun.
You dead! You hear me? Dead! You guys put me on a plane. You dead. You hear me? Dead. You put me on a plane. That's what you done. We in Italy, right? You guys knocked me out and flew me to Italy. Keep up.
Pretty silly, but we found it funny at the time. Anyway, I have another dark diary entry, December the 1st, 1997, which was less than a month after that fateful company-wide meeting. We had basically decided, look, we've missed our shipping date. We need to take another look at this game because it's not really coming together like we wanted. So we conducted this brutal game-wide level review by the entire team. And my note from that day was simply, quote, each of us was put on the stand and systematically shot to pieces. I remember just feeling like, oh my god, I feel so low. My work is up there in front of everybody and it's just being shredded. At least the level designers were all together in our absolute misery and defeat. So that was a really hard time to be a level designer at Valve, especially for me anyway. So following that review, much of the game was redesigned, which resulted in a much more detailed plan for each map. And that redesign was done by groups of people who would represent different skill sets in the company. So those redesign sessions would come out with a more detailed plan for each map, including, in most cases, sketches like this one. And this is a sketch of the laser puzzle where you get introduced to the Tau cannon. So that game-wide redesign made arriving at first playable versions of maps much easier because we had sketches like this, we had a much more deliberate and directed design, and we had a lot more confidence in the game being consistent across one chapter to another. So it was ultimately a tough process to go through, but absolutely essential for arriving at the final result that we did. Okay, let's get going with questionable ethics. Oh god. Whoa. Go away. Stop. Oh, I backed into the electric fence. Oops. Alright, this time, fellas. I need more firepower. Hey. Thank you. Wow, they're just too cute. I don't like shooting those. Okay, this looks like electric fence. Yes, shoot this guy. Alright, there we go. Not the most obvious solution to a puzzle in the world. So that's supposed to be liquid in there. Oh shit. This is the intro to these guys. But yeah, this was the intro to the alien grunt, and he was supposed to be locked in this sort of liquid container. And then he scares the crap out of you by banging on the glass and breaking through it. Yeah, these corridors, I really like the blue... Oh, except they're unaligned. I swear there is some texture... there is some regression in this version of the game. These textures should be lined up. Oops. You know, I should have... This is not very well designed. I should have put this little booth on the other side. Then you could see them coming through the opposite side and then trap them easier. This is not so easy. Alright, come on. Open this up. Oh, come on. Come on in. Come in. That's right. Move it. Oh. Come on. Oh, this is... Maybe I shouldn't have let these guys out. Alright, you guys are gonna get it. Did I just crush one with the door? That's amazing. Oh, I hope they get it when they're in these cells too. Excellent. Okay. Well, I didn't get the soldiers, but I got the head crabs. Yeah, that's a bug. That's not good. What has happened? Oh! Lacerations. Holy shit. Wow, I am so bad at fighting these. Oh, you Stingaya! Here we go. I love these guys. Actually, I should have killed the grunts with these guys. Would have been smarter. Easier. But they do turn on you if they don't have any enemies to attack. Let's just throw some of these in for a good measure. What? Is that it? That's so funny. Okay. Oh my god. Wow. And you get to place these. I love these tactical weapons. There you are. Come on now. These guys are too smart to fall for my trip mines. Holy f***, I did not mean to do that. No. Oh, come on. Oh, you... I don't f***ing believe it. Go on, do it. Yes! We named this the Psychosurgery when we were developing this game. This was Kelly Bailey and I trying to figure out different interesting features and experiences in this alien research lab, and this was one of them. A deadly game of jump and crouch to get across the room, and all of the terrified scientists huddled in the other room saying, you know, we're not moving until you deactivate this thing. Psychosurgery. Oh, the cases have already broken out. This area was not the cases weren't supposed to blow out until you got in here. This was like this was inspired by the aliens scene where the aliens were in the little glass vials, and then when they sort of jump scared you at the glass of the container. But in this case, they all bust out of these things when you were in the middle, so I don't know why it was already broken before I got there. And these were little agitators that's supposed to zap the head crabs every so often, you know, just because questionable ethics side of this was, is it okay to imprison alien creatures and subject them to torture, or isn't it? Even if they're deadly head crabs. That's amazing. Okay, can I get him? I can get you, I think. Yeah, that's a person. Nice. I love this weapon. Oh no.
Much too unpredictable. Don't let it overcharge.
What do you mean, overcharge?
That is just so silly. I love it. It's so ridiculous. But, you know, it's an intro to this gun, and we had to illustrate to the player how it would work, including the overcharge thing. By the way, that do not obstruct laser shield, that didn't exist for a while. But we didn't have to see too many external playtesters come in here and flail around enough before we thought, okay, we got to put some clue, and there is the clue. Maybe a little heavy-handed in retrospect. Okay, so now I have to get through this comical... I don't actually have... Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I forgot that I asked you to follow. Whoops. That's, alright, down to 2 already. That's not a good start.
Alright.
Here you go.
Well, I'll let you out, but I'm wrong. It's hell out there. It's completely under military control. You'll have to sneak and fight your way from one end to the other, and I don't expect you'll meet many of our peers along the way. But if you do survive and somehow make it across the base, you'll end up at the Lambda complex, where the rest of the science team has taken shelter. I wouldn't venture there myself, but I will let them know that you are coming.
Thank you very much. Where is he going? He's just hiding. Good. That's smart. Nice scale of this lamppost, but hey, remember, only 350 to 550 world faces for the entire scene. Definitely not easy to build a street lamp out of that few faces. Alright, give me some stuff.
35.
Okay, we made it to the end of Questionable Ethics. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and you'll join me for the next one, Surface Tension. See you then. Bye.